Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today, we're talking about something that I get asked way too often, and it's how many? How many ground balls should I take? How many fly balls should I take? How many swings should I take? How many pitches should I throw? How many? Stop asking how many, okay? We're going to talk about why it's important to stop asking how many, all right? Before we do that, though, today's video is sponsored by Super Speed Slugger. We use Super Speed Slugger's overload, underload training bats with all of our Antonelli baseball teams. We've had a lot of success using them so far. So go down in the description box below, click the link down there, and you'll be able to go and check out their bats. They're really cool. Like I said, we've had a lot of success with them, so definitely go and check those out. Okay, I'm sorry the intro where I'm kind of upset here, yelling, "Stop asking how many." But honestly, I get asked every day, dozens and dozens of times a day, how many of all these different things should you do? There is no number. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. There's not a secret number like, hey, if you take 100 ground balls a day, man, you're gonna make it to the major leagues and be a starting shortstop for the Boston Red Sox. Or if you take 65 to 70 swings a day, then you're gonna do this. Or if you throw long toss for this many throws, then you're gonna throw 92. Everyone's different. And there is no perfect number. If there was, then everyone would just go out and just do that number. Okay, boom, I'm going to play in the big leagues, or I'm going to play here or there, or whatever. Okay? So stop thinking about it with regard to how many of this or that should I do. Think of it this way. If you're going to take a test, right? The biggest test of your life, okay? You've always wanted to go to Harvard or Vanderbilt or whatever. Pick your favorite school, okay? Or if you get an A on this test, I'm going to give you $1 million, okay? Think about it that way. Would you ask the teacher, or ask me if I'm giving you a test, hey, how many hours should I study for this thing? No, you would not ask that. If this was the biggest test of your life, you wouldn't ask the teacher, how many hours should I study for this thing? No. Would you? No. What you would do is you'd study so much that there was no possible way that you could not get an A on that test, right? There'd be no way. You would study so much that you knew every single piece of material. You knew every question that was going to come before the question even came. Okay? That's what baseball's like. That's what anything's like. You have to prepare yourself to the point where you can't get it wrong. Right? So when we're talking about fielding ground balls, I've got to field so many ground balls that I can get into the game and I don't even have to think about anything. I've made every single play in practice. So when the ball comes to me in the game, boom, I know what to do. My instincts can take over. It's the same thing with hitting. It's the same thing with pitching. It's the same thing with base running. It's the same thing with lifting. It's the same thing with everything. Okay? So there's no number. I can't be like, oh, I got my 50 in. I'm going home. Like, you've just got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Now, I know people, well, I can't take 1,000,000 ground balls a day, right? I can't take 1,000,000 swings. I understand that. But don't think about it as numbers. Just go out there. When I go to hit, right? When I was playing and I would hit, and I've watched really good players hit, they don't go out there and say, okay, I got to get 50 swings in today. They work on their swing until they eventually, during that session, some days it might take 50. Some days it might take 200. Some days it might take 25. Where my swing feels locked in. I feel really good about what I'm doing. Whatever it is I'm working on that day, I feel good, man. I feel really good. I feel confident right now. I could go in a game tonight and perform really well. Then that's good, right? And like I said, that number can differ between people, okay? So don't think about it as numbers. Just think about it as I've got to put the work in, and I've got to put a lot of work in, right? And the way I've always said it, I've said this before in a video, when it comes to working hard and getting reps and doing all this stuff to get better, right? Every level I went to, the work got more and more, right? The work ethic of the players I played with and against was higher and higher and higher, okay? When you're really young, when you're in Little League, right? You've got a couple guys that put in some time, but most of the guys just, whatever, having fun. And whatever you did in Little League, when you get a little bit older, you look back, you go, man, I didn't work super hard in Little League, right? I thought I was working hard, but, I do way more now, right? That happens at every level. You go to high school, looking back, you think that. When I go to college, I look back, go, man, I thought I was working really hard in high school, but geez, like, what was I wasn't feeling that much, I wasn't hitting that much, right? Then you go to pro ball and you look back at college and you go, man, I thought we were working super hard in college, man, but wow, we're putting way more time in now. I'm doing way more stuff now. And then you get to the major leagues, you look back at the minor league, it just keeps happening every single level. And it's like that for every profession, I'm sure, not just baseball, right? So it's not about the number, it's just about getting better every single day, putting in the time, focusing in on what you're doing, and just having a really, really good work ethic, right? Really wanting to put the work in every single day. And don't worry about the numbers because there is no special number. If you're asking me about how many numbers or how many reps you have to do or how many ground balls you have to get or whatever, you're thinking about it the wrong way. You're probably not doing anywhere close to enough, okay? So just think that. If you're asking me how many, you do more. I guess that's a simple answer. I could have said that 10 minutes ago and we'd be good. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions about this. Share the video with all your friends. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. All that good stuff. Check the description box below. We got a deal going on Plate Crate. We got a link to our Patreon page to help support the channel. We got a bunch of other stuff, so definitely check all that out. And that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.